Hey everyone, this is Tim Patton. I'm going to be walking you through a quick photo editing assignment here in Photoshop. The theme of the week is your favorite activity. One of my favorite things to do is take my kids out and we take the dogs out and play with them. We have two dogs, a Boston Terrier and a Boxer. They both were recently neutered, so I don't have any recent pics of us actually playing with them, but I do have a nice cute pic of a Boston Terrier we're going to be working with here. So I'm going to go to open. My File Explorer is actually going to open on my second monitor. So I'll select that picture here. You can see that guy. And we're going to do our best to make him look like he's having a lot of fun. I'm going to start right over here with something called the lasso tool. As you can see, it says right there, it makes freehand selections. And what we're going to do is we're going to do our best to keep a steady hand and select the outline as best as we can get it. It doesn't have to be perfect today. Go all around. And for the sake of this one, we're going to cut it off and make it look like he's just got his two shoulders there. What I'm going to do next is actually select the inverse because I want to start working with the background first. So what that does was it took our selection, our original selection of the Boston Terrier, and swapped that with everything that was previously unselected, which will work out nicely for what we're going to do. And I think what I want to do with the background on this one is actually work with a gradient. So we're going to come up here, and I don't want to do blue, red, yellow. I just want to do two colors. I think we'll go from nice bright blue to a brighter green. So once you have your color selected there on your gradient, what you're going to do is you're going to start one side, you're going to draw this line straight across to the other, and it should take you a nice transition from that bright blue to the bright green. So that looks alright. I don't want to deselect anything yet because I want to continue working with the background here. So I'm going to move over to our brush tool, and we're going to come up here where our preset picker is, and I'm actually going to use a special effects brush for this. Let's see what we have. Kind of like this one. So let's come out here, and it's got black selected. I think that might look pretty good. I'm going to actually change the size of the brush tip. Yeah, I like that. So we're going to go ahead and fill the background in with this brush preset. It takes some of the harshness away from those bright colors in the background right there. Gives you a little bit of texture. So once we're done with that, I think the next thing we want to do with this guy is deselect. I'm going to take the brush tool and we're going to right click that, change it to the pencil tool. Again, I'm going to change the size of the tip of the pencil here. 40 might be a little big. Let's go a little smaller than that. Okay, let's try 32. And I also want to go with something that's going to stand out from him a little bit. So let's try pink. And I'll tell you why I want this amount of contrast here in a second. That didn't work. Let's try that again. We gotta move this guy up. So don't forget to do that. That's why I did it, so you could learn from my mistakes. Right, you believe that, right? So here again, we're gonna go across. Like I said, we're gonna make it look like this guy's having fun. He's at a party. Because we like playing with the dogs. The dogs like to have fun too. And we're gonna give him some sunglasses. And the reason I wanted A high. My son's sitting on my lap. If you could hear him giggling, he likes this. The reason I wanted a high contrast color here, like this pink, is so I could come over here and we're going to select this magic wand tool. And that's going to give us a quick selection of those sunglasses. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to bring another gradient in here, give this guy some nice shiny shades. And we'll go from a darker blue, give him something cool, maybe maybe a purple. Okay, once we got that selected, we're going to go across here. Yeah, that looks good. Right? Think that looks good? Yeah, me too. So he's got his shades on. We'll go ahead and come back up to select. We'll deselect, see how that looks. Looking cool. Alright, so we got quite a bit of background there. So I might crop him a little bit. We're going to come over to the crop tool here. And we're just going to take the corners here and we're going to drag them in just a little bit. I don't want them completely centered. And I may want to do a border here in a minute, so I'll give us a little bit of room to work with there. And then once you have the composition the way you want it, we'll click the check mark up here. I like it. Now, like I said, I kind of want to do a border, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to the rectangular marquee tool. And we are going to select, we'll just go thin border from top to bottom.
I just farted on you.
And again, I'm going to select the inverse so it works with the outside border. Now here's a cool thing that I actually just learned last week during our assignment. The eraser tool down here. Now if I use the eraser tool, it's actually going to use the secondary color down there. I never knew what the reasoning was for those two colored squares down there. I always knew they were there, and I knew most things used what was on top, and there was the two little arrows there that swapped them back and forth. So if I have the pencil here, you can see it's going to draw in white. We're going to undo that. But in an eraser, it drew in pink in the secondary color. So that's a good thing to know. We'll deselect that. So that's sort of a foreground background color tip there. So that concludes my walkthrough of Photoshop. I know it was quick, it was pretty simple, it's nothing too in-depth, but hopefully you got a good look at what some of these tools can do for you. So what I want you to do, I'll use the rectangular marquee tool here. We'll go here actually, and we'll give you something to look at here. I want you to take the following tools. I'll give you a little text box here. We are going to use and I'll make this a little bit bigger. Right over here, 12 point, we're gonna need more than that. Go 36, so the lasso tool, the gradient, the pencil, the brush, the magic wand, the crop tool, the rectangular, 36 was too much. come back to 24. There we go. The rectangular marquee. And some example of your understanding of the foreground and background colors and how those are utilized. So there's 8 tools you can use. And again, the theme is your favorite activity, so make it something that you enjoy. Try to make it fun, like that Boston Terrier's having right there. And I hope you enjoyed it. So we're going to take this guy, and I'm just going to save him over in my File Explorer. Give me 1 second here, guys. Finding my right folder. Okay. We'll close that out. Thank you for watching.